Hello everyone, thank you for watching this presentation. I will be talking about generalist social work practice with Nigerian immigrants. This is a community I feel personally connected to and one that is often overlooked within our practice frameworks. It integrates my reflections, various social work, ethical literatures, and personal experiences to address issues and responsive strategies. The social work practice requires more than surface knowledge as it demands understanding cultural identities intersections with other social factors such as oppression and resilience. Nigerians living abroad are considered an educated group, yet are one of the most social economically marginalized groups. They experience a distinct and compounded layer of oppression that includes racism, xenophobia, and barriers due to immigration. My first-hand experience with Nigerian culture has been through my husband and children. This presentation synthesizes scholarly literature alongside my cultural understanding. Competence is not a checklist. It involves a sustained commitment to introspection and learning, as well as exhibiting an element of humility. In the capacity of social workers, we have an obligation to look at not just the individual situation of our clients, but also the broader and more long-term factors which impact their lives. In dealing with Nigerian immigrants, we have to consider their race, immigration status, and the socio-cultural context of Nigeria and the US. Everything is interrelated. Seeking education and better career prospects, Nigerians have migrated to the United States. This occurs amid a history of global inequality and colonization. For some, higher education comes at the expense of chronic unemployment, discrimination, and social exclusion. The political and economic situation drives migration back home, and then there is the so-called American dream, where access to opportunities is not offered. Having to navigate life as a Black person, an immigrant, and having to deal with an accent deepens the difficulties in fitting in, as these often put you as an outsider. Racial microaggressions, employment, and housing discrimination are common for Nigerian immigrants. These, along with the growing reputation as a world leader in terrorism from the other side of the globe, coupled with immigration as well as xenophobia on American soil, create a triple threat that disproportionately impacts women. They are subjected to informal employment, wage theft, and lack health care access due to not having insurance or proper documents. Post 9/11 xenophobia and anti immigrant measure have grown these issues even further. Nigerian families actively engage in extended family social relations even while living overseas. Migration has the potential to recognize roles within a family system, bringing conflict into relationships within a marriage or across generations. There is a generation gap where children may Americanize at a faster rate relative to their parents, which differs from what would be considered the norm. Cournoyer, the author of the social work textbook, reminds us that we need to acknowledge different family systems and refrain from applying Western judgment. For example, social workers have to strategize about how to address issues such as domestic violence or the social command of children's disobedience. That balancing act requires a deep appreciation of culture and ethics. Access to health services remains a fundamental challenge. Long working hours, coupled with inadequate knowledge of the English language and prevailing stereotypes, deter a lot of Nigerian immigrants from seeking services. Even fellow English speaking Nigerians face discrimination due to their accents. Medical racism fosters distrust, so many resort to self care, herbal therapies, or traditional medicine. These approaches should not be disqualified, though, as non compliant. They should be regarded as important culture. Mental illness carries a stigma in Nigeria as it is viewed through the lens of morality or spirituality rather than medicine. Because of stigma, many people do not pursue therapy, and if or when they do go, it is likely they will express emotions as physical symptoms. Therapists will not be the first people to turn to for help. Faith leaders are much more likely to be approached first. Social workers need to be informed of different traumas as well as aware of social circumstances. Also, they should work in conjunction with religious organizations to provide comprehensive care. From the National Association of Social Work's definition, cultural competence is a continuous spiral. Key elements include practicing cultural humility, acknowledging systemic oppression, and utilizing strengths based approaches. These can include participation of clergy as parenting group facilitators or their incorporation into their support groups, even support of traditional medicine. We need to stop forcing Western practices onto the rest of the world and accept our clients teach in their realities. Trust serves as the foundation for everything. It is the most important aspects when building rapport for Nigerian clients, as well as many others. The possibility of opening up is very low due to the history of discrimination. On the other hand, rapport building can take many forms from many different sessions. Use of language interpreters, even working with community leaders. Listening and honoring the client, as Cornier says, it is the first step to effective engagement. Being a white American woman, I have personally had access to Nigerian culture due to my husband. That does not make me an expert. Familiarity can complicate matters and lead to overconfidence. I must remain careful about saviorism and privilege related to race. Clients might challenge me, and rightly so, on whether I have the capacity to appreciate their experience. My responsibility here is not to give them a voice, but rather accompany them on their journey. I commit to learn and educate myself about Nigerian culture and its subcultures, complete anti racism training, and participate in peer consultations. I will work hard to appreciate the silence, accept my boundaries, and give the client his due as the primary narrator of his story. While faced with racial, economic, and cultural oppression, Nigerian immigrants also display remarkable resilience. As social workers, we need to look beyond superficial cultural knowledge and practice deep listening paired with fierce structural advocacy. By taking the position as humble action and respectful support, we are able to aid in healing and empowerment. And, as the National Association of Social Work Code of Ethics states, social justice is not passive. It takes active, engaged commitment. Given this, I would like to show the references used for the preparation of this presentation. They comprise of a variety of academic documents, including textbooks, peer-reviewed articles, and my personal accounts, which contributed to the narrative presented. Thank you for watching.